allowed. Lewis against Paul Nicholson. It's clobbering time, WWE style. The young guns collide. Who will make it through to the World Cup final? Will doubles be needed? If Nicholson can do it, then we'll go to the doubles. Taylor Lewis, Will or Nicholson for yet another game this evening. Wayne Mardle and Rod Sud, your commentators.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. More extraordinary antics from Paul Nicholson, evoking memories of the time he sat down on stage at the City West against Phil Taylor before a big game and was sent packing in about 15 minutes. Does he sometimes outpsych himself, Wayne?
Yes. Didn't even have to think about that. Well, Paul kind of does all the shenanigans and everything else and tries to get himself G'd up and going, but then he says to the referee, who's first? It's the fact that, look, get your priorities right, man. Paul's definitely got the qualities of a world-class player, but sometimes he needs to try a bit harder on the board, I think.
You'd be surprised if he had any way of getting into the head of Adrian Lewis, because Lewis is so pragmatic. He just saunters around up there, totally relaxed. But Nicholson has got himself buzzing at the start of this game, a match that he must win. Otherwise, it's good night as far as Australia are concerned.
95.
Point well made, Rod. I don't think Adrian Lewis buys into all the antics of anyone, because he just believes in his ability, and he knows that if he gets on with it and does a job, he will probably win this game.
We all know Adrian Lewis learned a very expensive lesson when Peter Manley took him to school at the Circus Tavern, and he walked off all those years ago when old Wondart played him like a violin. But those days are long gone. Adrian Lewis is no longer a kid. He's a man, and he's a darts player of the highest quality and a world champion too.
Paul, you know, he's very, very capable. Just got to prove it.
Good start by Nicholson, Wayne. Very good, in fact.
His best start to a singles, and maybe that's what he needed, because he seems to have been chasing in all his singles matches, and it's been Simon Whitlock that has been carrying him. Treble 17. The little red bit right in the centre of the ball.
136.
Well, he moved the wire, forced the wire to wobble.
27.
Calamitous,
24.
giving Nicholson breathing space. He was unlucky on the effort with the ball. It would have been a dozen darter. Double 8. Lovely leg for Paul Nicholson. Superb.
That is a real confidence boost. It's okay scoring well and just missing the bullseye for a 161, but it's when you get down to those little out shots, that the 25s like Paul just had, and you go dink dink and it's in, and then to start the next leg off like this. Better, miles better from Nico.
Touch of the Peter Wrights with the hair for Paul Nicholson. Daubed the green and gold on his barnet. Not sure it's quite the professional job from Joe Wright, Peter's wife. I think he might have done it himself, but yeah, anyway.
There's no way that took 3 hours, is it? No, not a chance. 2-minute job. And Paul, back in 2012 in the final against England, went to the board, required 56 to be a World Cup winner. Hit the 16, pulled the tops and missed the 10s. And then Simon missed, and the rest is history. Adrian Lewis, he went and hit double 5.
What a match that was, what a final that was. Maybe they'll have a doubles decider again, because Nicholson leads by 1 and has the darts here.
And in that said match was the last time that these two played each other.
139.
Paul Nicholson beat Adrian Lewis 7-4 on that occasion. Different format, but it's all going Nico's way again.
85. Australia
80 all over the place.
Oh, another lightning quick leg. Nicholson looking to go out in 15 or fewer again. 20 for 32. And he's got so much time. Doesn't need to waste any more time. Why would you when you can check out like that?
Well, Paul Nicholson's been having trouble putting darts together. Now he's put two cracking legs together. 14 and 15, finds himself 2-0 up against Adrian Lewis, and just when Simon Whitlock needed all the help from Paul Nicholson, he's getting it.
60.
Full credit to Paul. He's standing up now, he's being counted. Brilliant.
He has wins over Lewis. He mentioned has a world championship win over Adrian Lewis.
93.
In 2008, that was the year that Nicholson burst onto the darting scene when he turned up at the Grand Slam in the shades. Kicked off 180. The world championship that year, he scorched through the early rounds, and one of his victims was Adrian
60.
Lewis. The pre-world champion Adrian Lewis, of course. That's it. That's where he wants that first one.
140.
Well, in the first two legs of the previous match that Adrian Lewis played, 7 140s in 2 and a bit legs. It's just his first one. It shows you the difference in his game. It comes and goes sometimes.
Brilliant, leaves double 18. Fantastic finishing. Well, you said it right. It comes and goes. Here in the match, it had gone, it's come again. The Enigma.
In the blink of an eye, on 5-3, is dispatched. This is where Nicholson has then got to kick in some 140 or a 180, not 59.
No. Nicholson can't be too bothered about Lewis taking out 153 to hold his own throw. Paul Nicholson has already done enough to win the match, in the sense that he's got the break. He's done the hard bit, he's got the break. Now, 2 holds, including this leg, will finish the job. What Lewis does his own throw is no concern to Nicholson anymore.
It's concerning for boys that he's not been winning matches, and he'll be thinking, right, I'm going to try and hold on, which is not the way forward. You've got to be aggressive.
100.
And Paul hitting that 140, he's put himself in control, 2-1 up, and 22 points in front. He may have to switch away here. We'll stay there. Now treble 20.
92.
Looking for minimum 100 points. Taking his time with his throw. It's a perfect dart, that really is. Paul's going to miss it, wants to be there. Brilliant.
140.
Which puts him 2 darts away from going 3-1 up. That will be his 3rd winning leg, and all 3 of them will be in 15 or fewer if he can check this 70 out in 3 darts. So double 16. He'll be coming back for double 8.
Well, Aidey's had one of those, isn't he?
79.
He's had a Jarvis cock up.
Australia requires 16.
Paul Nicholson will not be rushed. He will not be dictated to in terms of the tempo. Now the switch to double 4. he didn't really quite set himself for that or that. Suddenly he did seem to quicken up. He didn't set himself back again after missing the double 8.
Edgy. Well, Paul Nicholson looks edgy and
71.
Adrian Lewis just looks completely out of sorts. Double 1. If you don't put the first one slap bang in the middle of the double 1, you want to go there, slightly nearer or in. Well, what that means I don't know, but you can see what it does mean in score terms. Nico is 3-1 up.
95.
Phil Taylor and Simon Whitlock waiting to see if they're going to be required to throw any more darts in this semi-final.
The amount of pressure on Paul Nicholson before the start of this match would have been immense. He knows that he's underperformed throughout the whole of this fabulous championship.
40.
But he has played miles better on this occasion, and he's had to.
Paul Nicholson has the darts in leg 5 and in leg 7 if we go that far. All the aces are in the hand of the adopted Aussie.
99.
Only 99. Definitely taking his time. I always feel that there are certain players that play better with a bit of rhythm. Paul's one of them. And this man is the master of when he gets that rhythm. Just looks so effortless. Sometimes,
59.
and tonight isn't one of those occasions.
Important to point out, pertinent to point out that Australia will have the darts in the doubles match.
80.
Well, because the point wasn't touching, it was only 80 scored. If the point is just resting in the bristle, then it would have.
50.
Amazing what can happen on this Sizewell board, divided into 20 radio segments, Wayne. Nicholson wants 140. It's a ton. Gets it.
100. England you record 158.
Well, is it a 153? Well, after the first start, Paul Nicholson would have thought he's going to get a dart at double 19 here. For a point for Australia to take us to a deciding pairs match. Tops!
60.
Well, he just come up short.
74.
Literally. And figuratively. Bow!
Charles in the fifth leg. England.
Incredible! Nicholson, this is a match dart at tops, and Lewis, calm as you like, buried it in the bull. Goodness.
It just seemed like that Phil was carrying on regardless with his practice.
100.
It was like you knew Adrian was going to take it out and Paul was already going to miss.
62.
Off, really off Adrian Lewis. But somehow manages to muster a magnificent bullseye. Fourth 140 for Paul Nicholson.
125.
Well, that another visit that just shows that Adrian Lewis isn't quite at 100%, because when the first two go in the treble 20 like that, put plenty of money on the third following.
What seems to be happening, Rod, is the fact that as he's releasing the dart, the fingers are coming away and the dart is flying out the side of the hand. That's why he's having flyers to the left. They're not even just slightly left, they're flying high. This is now, somehow, with the help of that bullseye, it's now a match, and it wasn't looking that way.
100. 92.
Who's third dart, but he is now ahead of Nicholson, who's got these 3 darts to send Australia into the doubles. He's going to poke at a finish. Double 16 is the latest double to desert him, having missed tops in the previous leg.
Hit the bullseye. What a marker. That's a...
66.
Thought that he'd have moved over and used the dart as a marker, but he rushed it.
Paul Nicholson could not ask for a better chance. An open bed, an open target, begging to be hit, and Nicholson hits it. And Paul Nicholson has got the Australians back in business. Simon Whitlock and Paul Nicholson. Well, hello. Hello. Finger pointing, finger wagging, words spoken, angry words from Nicholson.